Hi, Avani. I'm sorry. Let me fix that. All right. Whew. Here we are. Sorry, I'm getting this video to you a couple days later than usual. I had such a trouble trying to get memory space freed up on my devices, and I just could not free up enough memory, it seemed. So it was a process of deleting, and I'm not even gonna get into it, but I hope you are doing great, having a wonderful start to the week. And today I just want to go over a couple of things that we talked about doing in our last lesson, namely getting the tarantella off of our slate. Because sometimes pieces, it's like this. You might have 3 or 4 pieces that you're working on, and you spend a little time with each one, which is fine. But sometimes we really need to focus on one to just get it to that next level, learn it, and then put it away. Because it's only with a kind of really steely focus on one that we're able to just kind of get it to that point and then again move on. So that's what we'll focus on today. But first, let's warm up with the churney. This week we were looking at number 12, which really is a deceivingly, I would say, straightforward looking piece, but it teaches us a lot. The first thing it really teaches us is the notion of balance between the hands. The thing is, the hands are very close together in this piece, which becomes a problem because they're competing for airtime. When the hands are in a closed position, balancing them becomes a real challenge. So where is the melody? Obviously in the right hand. The left hand is playing just these simple accompanying chords. Okay? Even though it's not written as a chord all in one, there's Sonia coming to say hello. Hello. Hello, Sonia. Anyway. Even though the chords are not played all together, you play them one after another, you still have to keep them in the background. So that's the big challenge. Legato is the second challenge. And pushing out the melody in the right hand is the third. Notice this is my balance. Not, you know, there's not such there's a huge difference between the two. It should almost be that the left hand part is whispery and the right hand part is really bold. Again, it takes a lot of practice to get that kind of level of control. But with a good prepared fingertip, strong hand, then you could really push it through. Very legato. It's a good idea to use rotation. That's how you keep the whole melody part nicely blended. All right, so work on that. Here's the second line. All right, so quite a lot of exciting things there for us to work on. All right, so now let's take a look at our tarantella. Okay, so let's just talk about, we talked a lot about the first page and how to play these things. Let's go more towards the end first. Let's go to the part where it turns into D major, page 36, double bar line on the 4th line. Okay, we talked about the quality of staccato that we need here, which is quite a lot. It can't be too flimsy. You notice that doesn't give you any real body of sound, no richness there. So you really need to almost think of it as going from bottom to the top of the key. So from bottom to up, bottom to up. Normally we're used to playing up to down, which is our default way of playing. But in this case, when you're looking for a sound that is a little bit more raw, then that's the way you get it, is from down to up, not up to down. So it's curious. You really have to play around with the technique to get the effects that you want. We are, as piano players, we deal with special effects. That's all we're doing. We're using the piano and the sound that we're able to produce from the piano as a vehicle for producing special effects in the emotions of our listeners and even for ourselves when we're playing, right? So this is how you produce that effect of kind of raw staccato sound. Listen to the left hand. The left hand has to be very light. Sforzando. These little grace notes have to be snappy. These are not lyrical, because notice it really drags the whole thing down. Then back to minor. And I am really kind of sticking with my straightforward sound here. I'm not going back to... Again, that's wimpy, right? This is kind of a question of life or death in a tarantella, right? Make your triplets 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. It's different than some of the triplets we play where the focus is more on the 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. In lyrical things, the way that we phrase is different than in more exciting, dramatic settings. This is more exciting, dramatic. So we have to accentuate the beat that gets least notice. Which is the weakest beat in a beat? Excuse me. Which is the weakest beat in a triplet? The first note, the second, or the third? If you said second, you are correct. Listen to what happens when we, on purpose, pull out the second beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I really do want you to play with that second beat. And then the whole thing comes alive, okay? So keep working on that when you get to the second ending. Again, what is required here is that intensity, that relentlessness that never dies. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, bum, 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 bum. Yeah, it has to be like a motor, okay? Like a motor churning it out. All right, the rest we've reviewed ad nauseum. So it's just a question of, spending time with this piece, focusing in on it, and again, getting secure enough in it so that we could put it away. It's a 3-pager, and there are many episodes in it, so it's a challenging piece because it forces us to really move from mood to mood, change keys, go back to original key. So there's a lot going on, but I just want you to remember the whole thrust of this piece is the intensity, that raw mood of it, and stay out of the trap of making it sound too dainty. That's very dainty. This piece does not have a dainty bone in its body. Okay, so let's just stay authentic to the mood, and I will see you on Friday. Bye, Avani.